There we go. On the dry right away. Right away. It's like my third cast. Nice little brookie. That's awesome. That is awesome. Nice little brookie. Thank you there, Mr. Brookie. Got him on my, dry fly pattern I came up with. I call it a high and dry Hare's here. It's a size 16 in a blue-winged olive color. So I am out in the western part of the state of Virginia in a mountain stream. There's brookies and brownies out here, and what's interesting is the last, gosh, 4 days ago, it's late winter right now, but it's like spring-like conditions. It's about 70 degrees. 4 days ago, there was 5 inches of snow out here. It was freezing cold. I fished in it, and it was absolutely miserable. But we had massive rains come in. The snow melted. This freestone went up, and then in the last couple days, it came back down. That's the beauty about fishing these mountain freestones. They will recede fairly quickly, and that's a great sign. I think the water temperature is about 50. Clearly, I really felt like the fish will be looking up today, so that's an awesome sign. So let's see if we can get some more. Great start. But this is perfect dry dropper water. There might be a few holes that I'm gonna cut the dry off and I'll nymph it, but right now this is perfect dry dropper. There we go. Hit the dry again. Little brookie. Boy, he's a pretty little guy, but he's a pretty one. Look at that fat little guy. Look at there, Mr. Brookie. There we go. Decent fish. Hit the dry. Another brookie. They are definitely looking up for sure. Thank you there, Mr. Brookie. It's a deep run right here in front of me. It's a couple feet deep. I almost, I was getting ready to take my dry off and nymph it, and then I made another cast and boom, he whacked it. There we go. Hit the nymph there. Boy, that one fought. Nice. It's a brownie. Figured. Brownies they just fight better. They just fight bigger. He hit the at a size 18 Walt's with an orange collar on. Thank you, Mr. Browning. Oh man, did you see that thing all the way out of the water? All the way out of the water. That was really cool. Right in the middle of that deep run. That was awesome. Might get him to hit again on the nymph if I can. It's that seam he was on right there. There we go. Oh, no, that was a different fish. Little brookie. I want that other one. That other one was a nice brookie. Hit the Waltz. I'm gonna move my dropper up a little bit. So I have an adjustable dry dropper system on here. It's really simple. This is just a piece of tippet right here that I put a perfection loop in, and that way you can slide it up and down the tippet, and then your surgeon's knot is the stopper. So I moved it about a foot up, so I got about a 2-foot drop now, or actually about 28 inches, just to get a little deeper here in this run. Really got to stay below these fish on a stream like this. It's just best to always be fishing. I really try to position myself below the fish, and 90% of my casts are upstream. Certain areas you can fish up and across, but you're just better suited to stay below on the stream like this, but especially a small little freestoner like this. These fish can be really, really spooky. Oh, that was so cool. I don't know if you saw that brook trout, airborne, completely airborne. That was really, really cool. Dry my fly off. Maybe he'll give me another shot. There, oh, he hit it again. Some softwood here on the left, and then you got that run on the right by that big rock, but I'm gonna work the left side here first. There we go. Hit the dry. Boy, didn't win any beauty awards for sure. Little brownie, hitting that dry. Thank you, Mr. Brown, pretty guy. I still feel like there's more fish over there. They are definitely looking up. I mean, I think I've caught one fish on the nymph, and the rest have been on top. I might have caught 2 so far. Right, let's slide that up. About 2 feet. Just make sure when you if you do that adjustable dry dropper, you got to make sure that you wet your tippet, because you don't want to create a lot of friction when you slide that up. And you don't want to get stuck like this too. Still working this left side. There we go. That's on top again, where they are liking this high and dry. One cast of brown, another cast of brookie out of the same hole. Just a pretty fish. Pretty fish. Thank you, Mr. Brookie. When you use the CDC flies, you do have to go through a process of drying them, but it's worth it. I like CDC flies more than any hackle. This has been a really good dry fly for me too. There we go. Decent fish too. Whoa, look at that. You can get a brownie. Ah, some brookie. Good looking. No, it's a brownie. Hit the dry. Thank you, Mr. Brown. See, this is a good looking pool here. You got that main current coming through that chute. You got slow water to the left and the right with some depth. Just a really nice spot. Some good looking water here. There we go. Hit the dropper. Little brownie. Boy, he is a pretty guy. Look at that beautiful brownie. Gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Boy, I saw a couple other fish dart out when I hooked it. Seeing a lot of olives pop up now. There was a fish. Hit him on top. Another brownie on the high and dry. That was awesome. That was awesome. Came darting right out of the water. Oh, I'm sure he got me all tangled up. That's okay. Thank you, Mr. Brookie. There we go. They are just crushing it on top today. Boy, he got me good and tangled. All right. I had to do some rig changes there after that fish. Let's see if we, still looks pretty juicy up in here. Let's see if we can't get another one. Boy, this is what I love about using a micro leader with a dry dropper. It's just the ultimate in finesse fishing. And for those who think they can't throw dry dropper with a micro leader, you absolutely can. You can't throw big wind resistant flies like chubby Chernobyls or stimulators, which I actually don't really like fishing with. I think you get a lot of strikes and a lot of missed fish. But when you've got a realistic dry on top, you get a ton of eats when they're looking up. And I can throw this easily 30 feet. I mean, it just, for close in dry dropper work though, it's phenomenal. It just lands so lightly. It's a really nice setup. Really a good looking hole right here. There we go. On top again. There's a rod bender. Oh, brownie. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Let's go right over there. It's a good looking spot. Right here looks really nice too. There we go. Hit the dropper. I got a pink beaded Waltz on from Brownie. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Well, he slammed it. He slammed it. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Right in the chute here. There we go. Oh, damn it. He whaled it too. That was the one. Nice little rock ledge over there too. Right through there. Right through there. There he is. He hit the dropper. He hit twice, as a matter of fact. I thought he had hit before that. Little brookie. Hook out. Thank you there, Mr. Brookie. How pretty that fish is. Oh man, oh man. He was in that fast water. I don't know if you could see that. It was right behind that rock. That was a decent brookie. Halfway out of the water. Right on that seam right there. That edge right there next to that big rock. I got to get it down that soft spot. Yeah. There we go. Oh, damn it. Hit the nymph. Seemed like had a nice tug to it. Really like this spot right here. Tons of depth, leading right up to this big, oh man, I had a nice trout, came up and looked at the dry. Didn't like something there though. That's the spot right there I like. There we go. Oh, it's a nice fish right here. Oh, it's a nice brownie. God almighty. Tangled on everything. There we go. That's a trophy for this creek. That's really sweet. What a beautiful fish. That might have been the one that came up and looked at my dry. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Beautiful fish right there. Thank you, Mr. Brown. That's awesome. That was awesome. So you can see this deep slot right here, and it's just like a little gully right there, and there's one rock off my rod tip, and the first time I saw him, he came up out of that rock and looked at my dry. Couple more drifts and boom, he hit the nymph. Pretty sweet. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Boy, I saw him just rise up from the bottom. Very cool, decent fish too. I'm gonna go up here, out there. Brownie, very, very cool. I'll tell you where that fish was here in a minute. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Look at that guy. Beauty. So you can see this rock right here in front of me. There's another rock to the left of it, and there's a little V. And he was tucked right in on the downstream side of that, and he just rose up slowly, boom, nailed it. Really, really cool. Awesome stuff. I keep saying it, but they are just absolutely hammering this dry fly today. I think I've caught maybe 3 on the nymph and everything else on the dry. Here we go. On a dry again. That's a brookie. I go brown for brookie. Awesome stuff. Thank you there, Mr. Brookie. Good looking fish. The great thing about freestones like this is the fish are so opportunistic. That's why probably 90% of the time I do have a dry dropper on. I don't go straight dry fly just simply because, you know, some fish are just gonna want that nymph below, but today, you know, probably 80% I've gotten on top. But that's the beauty about fishing a dry dropper on a stream like this. They're opportunistic, and you can just sit here and pick apart every little hole. It's just really a fantastic way to fish these little freestoners. Let's see if we can get some more here. Look at that. Can you believe that? Literally right in front of me. I was walking up, fly is floating, and he nailed it. Brownie. When they're hungry, they're hungry. There we go. God, I was getting ready to move when I saw him come up. Brookie. I was literally stepping upstream when I saw him rise up. Good looking brookie. Thank you, Mr. Brookie. Every time you get a fish on a CDC fly, you gotta make sure you dunk it in the water, wipe that slime off. Then you can have a drying patch and just really dry that thing off. Squeeze the water out. I usually have a silly leg hanging off here, and I hook it up and strum it like a guitar, but I broke it 5 minutes into fishing, and shame on me for not having another one, which I normally do, but that's a mistake on my part. There we go. Oh, little brookie. What they lack in size, they make up for it in beauty. So here's the bugs I was using today. On the right side, that's my high and dry hare's ear in the blue-winged olive pattern. It's a size 16, and on the left is a size 18 pink beaded Waltz. I also caught a few on an orange collar Waltz, but 80% of them came on the high and dry hare's ear. Just a really great bug, great for dry dropper. So I'm going to be calling it quits here this afternoon. Boy, what a fun afternoon I had. Just in the western part of Virginia on this gorgeous freestoner. It's late winter. 4 days ago it was snowing, had 5 inches out here, and today it's 70 degrees. So really amazing how the weather shifts, and it's really awesome because really have a taste of spring in the air now. Caught probably 80% of my fish on a high and dry hare's ear pattern I have. It's a blue-wing olive pattern. I also tied in a natural and larger sizes, but this was a size 16. Caught a few on my dropper, a size 18 Waltz with a pink bead, and a couple more on a orange collared Waltz. But just, you know, when you get on freestoners like this, the fish are so opportunistic, especially when it warms up. I think the temperature of the water is about 50 degrees, so they were definitely looking up today. I tell you, if you want to go out and have a ball with a dry dropper, hit those freestoners. Just you will have an absolute blast, and just pick apart those pockets. And that's what's so great about a Euro rig. You know, I'm throwing a micro leader, and you can just have so much finesse and just really softly laid in those pockets and work those runs, and you're gonna have some success. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And as always, tight lines, everybody. I'll talk to you later.